Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to today's episode of Mondays with Marty, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, today we're going to be talking about something really exciting, something that has been very close and dear to my heart because I have always been in the world of sales and if you're an entrepreneur, you have always been in the world of sales. And if you're a human, you have always been in the world of sales. But today, we are going to be talking about the difference between marketing and selling. So, the difference between marketing and selling that's the key question. What is the difference between selling and marketing? We really need to talk about this because as entrepreneurs, como mujeres que somos mujerpreneurs, sometimes we don't like to sell. And it's so interesting to me that we don't like to sell. We don't like to sell. We love to shop, but we don't like to sell. So really, if you just change that little verbiage inside, the little verbiage inside that kind of convinces you, hey, you know what, I'm selling, and you're not really selling, right? So the shocking difference between selling and marketing is very different, guys. So the difference between today we are talking about the shocking difference between marketing and selling, selling and marketing. Any way you look at it, selling is the act of persuading someone to buy something. Now, let me just say, vender es un acto de estar convenciendo a alguien que compre, right? Selling is the act of persuading something to buy someone to buy something. But marketing, on the other hand, my friends, here's the big distinction. Amigas, escuchen bien porque aquí va la diferencia. Marketing, on the other hand, is the process of creating a need for a product or service and then satisfying that need. You see, in order for you to be able to be a good marketer, you really have to know your product or service, number one. And number two, you have to know who is it that you're marketing to, right? Because then you're not going to be able to sell if you're not marketing to the right person. It is also the activity of planning and executing a program to create a demand for your product. So, marketing, amigas, marketing está involucrada en la actividad de planificar y sacar adelante el programa para crear la demanda de tu producto o tu servicio. All of that I just said, it's the activity of planning and executing a program, a planned program or a launch program to create a demand for your product or service. In contrast, selling is often perceived as slimy, aggressive, manipulative, while marketing is seen as friendly and helpful. So now let me ask you this. Déjales pregunto esto. You like to go shopping, right? You like to go shopping. You like to spend money. We all do, especially if you're a mujer, especially if you're a woman. We all like to do that. So if we could transition our thoughts and our minds to really talk about in our head, not who are we going to sell to? I want you to get that thought out of your head. Who are you going to sell to? And replace that thought with Pay attention. This is really good. If you're distracted, come back to me. Replace the thought, not who I'm going to sell to, but who is going to shop from me. Who is going to shop from me? So selling is often perceived as an aggressive and manipulative, task. And that's why we don't like it. We don't want to seem aggressive. We don't want to seem manipulative. But marketing, on the other hand, is seen as helpful and friendly. Well, and it should be. It really should be. Because if you haven't done your homework, so the selling process becomes sleazy and slimy if you haven't done your marketing homework. If you haven't really figured out who your ideal customer really is and how your product or service is going to help them, well, then you're really going to have to work hard at selling them. When you're selling, the process of selling is the key. But that process, behind that process, is your feeling, your internal feeling. If you feel sleazy, you're going to behave sleazy. So you've got to go inside and change that verbiage inside your head to, who's going to shop from me today? And then if you ask yourself, who's going to shop from me, it might actually make it easier for you to actually figure out who your target market really is. You want to be sure that you're targeting the right people, that you're reaching out the right way. And communicating effectively is key, my friends. But you cannot communicate effectively if you don't know who you're talking to. So here are a few tips to help you sell like a pro. And it's okay to love the word sell. Number 1, know your audience. Do your marketing homework. Know your audience. When you know your target customer, who it is, when you've niched all the way down, it's much easier to tailor your sales pitch to somebody who knows, likes, and trusts you, and that you know their needs. Think about it this way. People get so confused. What's the difference between a niche, an ideal customer avatar, and a target audience? Think about the target. So your target audience is everybody who fits in that big target, right? And then as you get closer toward the middle, then that's your ideal customer avatar. From the target market, maybe your target market is women, and in here, like for me, it's Latina, bilingual, mujerpreneurs, right? And then your niche is that center. Your niche is the center right there, that in the middle of the target. That's your niche, right? So that's why we say niche down. So that's your niche. That's who you're going to hit with your marketing. And it's much easier to tailor your sales pitch to that segment of your population, to their needs. You've got to figure out what they want and what they need. And you've got to focus on presenting your product or service to them as a solution to their problem. Now, let me say this in Spanish. Ustedes tienen que saber quién es su nicho, porque el nicho es lo de medio del target, ¿verdad? Entonces, ustedes van a tener que, en realidad, ver qué es lo que necesitan para que ustedes se puedan enfocar en presentar su producto o su servicio como una solución de lo que necesita su nicho. So that's why it's so critical, my friends. Amigas, escuchen bien. I want to help you demystify the sale. Why is it that we get so caught up, so tripped up with a sale? And it's because of the way that we're approaching it. And maybe now you know the difference between marketing and selling. Marketing is not selling. Selling is not marketing. They're two different things. So you've got to use the right channels when you're marketing. Different customers prefer different methods of communication. So it's important to use the channels that they're most likely to respond to and that they're most likely in social media to hang out in. And the real truth is that some people are lazy to do the work. They think they don't need to do it, and that's why they're not making their six figures. So the marketing process is important. The marketing process on how, like for instance, for me, how I market to my Latina entrepreneurs is very different than just women entrepreneurs. For example, if you're a Latina entrepreneur, there's no need to feel intimidated by the marketing process. I know at times it can be daunting. It can feel very big. It can overwhelm you. But with careful planning and execution, you can effectively market your business. Cuando están en el proceso de hacer el marketing de su negocio, es sumamente importante que no le tengan miedo a hacer eso, ni tampoco le tengan miedo a vender. Una venta es sumamente diferente que un marketing plan. Let me give you some tips to help you get started. The first thing you need to know is you need to know thy customer. La primera cosa que ustedes tienen que saber es tienen que conocer su cliente. Know thy customer. Commandment number 1, know thy customer. The first step in any marketing campaign is understanding your target audience. Who are they? What do they want? What are their needs? What are their desires? What do they look like? Where do they hang out? What is their problem? What do they wish you could solve for them? Once you have a clear understanding of your target market, oh, my friends, amigas, you can craft messaging that resonates with them, that totally resonates with them. Cuando lo tienes sumamente claro en tu mente, ¿a quién le vas a hacer marketing? ¿Quién es tu cliente? Va a ser sumamente importante que hables con esas personas, esos clientes, y les des lo que necesitan y te va a llevar al éxito. Así es que, número 1, es importante conocer su cliente. Number 2, you want to establish brand identity. Who are you? Maybe you're a network marketer. And if you're a network marketer, you've got your brand. You've got a brand, but you've got to have the overarching brand, which is you. What are you good for? Are you good for working out? What are you? What are you? What is your brand? And then, because I want you to understand that if you're a network marketer, or if you're an affiliate marketer, you are your own brand. You are not the brand you're representing. Your brand represents that product or service. And if you're a brick and mortar business, you're still your brand. You are your brand. People are going to buy from you unless you're like Nike, right? And you're a gigantic brand, in which case I wouldn't be your coach. Right? Because I work with a small entrepreneur who is making 5 figures, getting ready to go to 6 figures. I work with a Latina mujerpreneur who is ready to rock their 6-figure biz. So remember, establish a brand identity. A strong brand identity is key to attracting customers and building loyalty. Loyalty gives you repeat customers. Make sure your branding, my friends, though, is consistent across all your platforms, across your website, across your social media profiles, across your marketing materials, names. Everything needs to be consistent. You can't be Susie Homemaker over here and Wendy Workout over here and Marty Marketing over there. You've got to be the same person all the way through. What you sell is got to be consistent all the way through so that you can have more power with your marketing materials. Number 3, I want you to remember to create a content strategy. Quality content is essential for attracting attention online. It really is. Latina entrepreneurs are a rapidly growing and influential segment of the business community. And they, in my eyes, have always been underrepresented, underprivileged, and underserved. That's why I'm here. I'm here. I am the Latina biz coach who enjoys, who's passionate about leaving a legacy of Latina leaders behind and some really badass 6-figure income earners that are, rocking their business. That's what I do. But there are many things that you need to consider when you're marketing to whatever group it is that you want to market to. So be very strategic and careful in planning what you are selling, in planning your company, and planning your marketing strategy, and planning that who are you going to go after so that you can successfully reach this market. El hecho de vender, mis amigas, el hecho de vender es después de atraer a su mercado caliente. We call that warm market, but you can't have a warm market if you don't have a big cold market, right? So you've got to pick and choose. And then how are you going to reach that warm market? Your warm market is your people who are ready to be and trust. They know, like, and trust you. And sometimes that means being out on social media and talking to people until you get, until you get, I want to say discovered, but discovered's not the word, until you get to that know, like, and trust factor. When you've been out there so much, people are like, oh yeah, Marty Angel. Yeah, I know her. She's the Latina business coach. Oh yeah, she comes on every Monday. I watch her every Monday. That's what you're going for. That's why it's critical. So the first step in understanding the unique characteristics for me of the Latina entrepreneurs is that I need to know that they are often highly motivated and have a strong entrepreneurial spirit. And they also place a high value on family and community. So that my marketing messages should reflect that. When I actually go out there, I have to talk about my stories, my familia, la comunidad, y cómo le doy a la comunidad, how much I give, how much I'm empowered, how long I've been serving this community, how long I have been in love with and passionate about serving the Latina mujerpreneur bilingual market, right? And that's how you have to find your place. Next, it's important to know for me where to find my market. Where do I find Latina entrepreneurs? Well, there are many online and offline resources available, just like they are for you in your market, including trade shows, entrepreneur conferences, social media platforms, wherever it is. But once again, my message is that is so clear that in order for you to be a successful salesperson, right? In order for you to be that really successful salesperson that creates that successful six-figure income, is you've got to start with the marketing piece. You've got to know your target audience. And then you've got to hone in on who is your ICA. Your ICA is your ideal customer avatar. And finally, niching down to the point where, remember I told you it's right there, that center of the target, niching down so that you can hit the bullseye, because those are the 20% of people that are going to continue to buy from you. I'm sorry, I'm pointing. That are going to continue to buy from you. So I hope this is getting clearer. Is this getting clearer? I hope so. I hope that you let me know in the comments below, wherever you're listening to this. If you're on, if you're live with me, let me know. If you are on, watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded podcast, drop me a comment. Come find me on social media. I'm still the one who answers. I'm still the one. Like that song says, you're still the one, right? I am still the one who answers you personally. So again, the shocking difference between selling and marketing is so close and has such a fine line that you need to know the distinct difference between both so that you can do both and become that successful mujerpreneur that I know you can be. Now, let me just reiterate again. What are the differences? Well, the key differences between selling and marketing are, when most people think of sales and marketing, they often think of two very similar concepts and they think that they mesh, but they really don't. However, there are key differences. Like I said before, they're two completely different disciplines. Sales is focused on the individual interaction between a seller and a buyer, but that can't happen successfully until after the marketing piece has been put in place. And marketing is focused on creating a relationship with potential buyers and customers through various channels. Marketing establishes the trust and credibility that people and potential customers have with you. That, my friends, will lead you to more sales opportunities. Another key difference between sales and marketing is that marketing is more long-term in nature. This is something, if you can think about this, you're going to be doing a long time. Sales are typically focused on closing the deals, and that's a short-term relationship. Marketing, like I said, on the other hand, can take months or even years to produce results. However, if done correctly, si hacen esto, lo que le estoy diciendo, si hacen marketing correctamente, pueden crear una relación con sus clientes que dura años, eternidades. You can create long-term relationships with customers that can result in repeat business and referrals. And isn't that what we want? Isn't that where we create that residual stream of income, no matter what product or service you're selling? So, Latinas, if you find yourself doing both sales and marketing activities in your business, it's because you're a chingona, man. You're a chingona, and that you're a badass. And that's where we all start. Mujeres, we all start there. Beginning solopreneurs, before you actually hire anybody, we're there. This is how we get started. So you have to come to the point and ask yourself, which process is better for my business? When it comes to starting and running a business, there are a few different paths you can take. You can even be the one who says, nope, I'm not going to sell. You can go the traditional route with a more corporate structure, or you can go the independent route which is often way more flexible but carries some risk. Amigas, mujerespreneurs, many women choose the independent route. I know I did, and for good reason. It allows for more creativity and control. But which process is better for your business? And only you, my friends, only you can answer that. I can't answer that for you. You are the one that knows your product. You are the one that knows your business. You're the one that's going to go out there, create relationships through your marketing. And you're the one that's going to finally close that sale with your sales, right? So, my friends, amigas, I hope this is helping to demystify the sale for you, and I hope you found value in my words today. And if so, please remember that I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you listening to me or watching me on my podcast or anywhere else. And remember to please share this content with your team or anyone else that you think could benefit from this. And even if you don't think, maybe they already know this, but just share it anyways. As always, my friends, have a great day. Como siempre, aquí estoy, su servidora, para desearles un hermoso día, noche, donde quiera que estén, donde quiera que me estén escuchando. As always, I am here, yours in health and wealth. This is Marty Angel signing off. Have a great one. Namaste.